For Kenyans living on the streets, celebrating the holidays is probably the last thing on their minds. Nearly half the country's population lives below the poverty line, and young people trying to survive are often the most vulnerable to abuse, crime, drug addiction, and police harassment. In Nairobi, skyscrapers are set against slums that are home to millions of people. David's life on the capital streets began 18 years ago when he was 12. He says it's a fight for survival.
I ran away from school because of the horrible teachers who beat us all the time. I gave up and came to the streets. That's where I have been ever since.
After years of political unrest, Kenya's economic outlook is said to be brighter. The latest government figures suggest poverty is down, but they might not tell the whole story. Volunteers working with underprivileged communities say that from their vantage point, the reality on the ground looks very different, and that the number of Kenyans who are homeless, kids and adults, might actually be going up. Economic migration from rural areas, a rising cost of living, and overall lack of opportunities. Aid groups say these kinds of things mean entire families are ending up on the streets. And a new generation of Kenyans is being born into poverty. Some attempts are being made to improve literacy among children. The idea is with their heads in books, their minds may not stray to drugs and crime. It's the kind of learning space that can make a difference. JOSPHAT used to beg on the streets. Now he's a model student with hidden talents and an ambition to be a doctor.
In school, I met good teachers, which they showed me love, and they made me discover my talent of singing, and they pushed me, and I excelled.
When he's not at his day job as a school principal, Clifford OLUOCH runs a rescue shelter, getting kids off streets, putting food in their stomachs and a roof over their heads, trying to get them back to school.
The first thing I need to do is to make them believe in themselves. Some of the boys I've been in the streets for 20 years. Yeah. So the only thing you can do is just, okay, fine guys, there's a center for you over here, there's somewhere you can shower, there's somewhere you can sleep. You go and do whatever you normally do, right? But come, here is a place where you can feel accepted and feel, dignified like a human being.
The government is trying to improve the situation. But charities and volunteers say the scale of Kenya's homeless problem is overwhelming. For now, it's time to leave those troubles at the door and come together, OLUOCH says, to have fun and celebrate the festivities as a family. Zein, Basravi, Al Jazeera, Nairobi.